sean.com. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button. I'll be your friend. And today I have a super cool person, Jessica Chin King. What's up, Jessica?
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, for sure. I'm super happy. And you just seem like such an artist. If you go onto like any of your Facebook, but what is your main form of art that you do?
So my main form of art would be acting in the film industry and production, but lately I have been doing so much photography and editing.
That's awesome. And then photography. So I see that you model a lot. Do you
I
still do
do.
that?
I do. I do some print work, but I'm trying to focus more on being behind the camera now.
Yeah, that's awesome. What is your favorite thing to take pictures of?
Faces, people's faces. So like portrait work is my absolute favorite.
Do you like like just a black background or a white background, or like do you know when
Kind
people
of a mix.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing something like crazy, like some type of crazy emotion, I like to have the background plain so we can kind of focus on the person's face more.
Yeah.
But I like different backgrounds as well. Like if the photo is more neutral, then I like a pretty scenery.
That's awesome. And then when I was going through like a lot of your pictures, and you've been doing like, it seems like you've been like modeling for so long.
Yeah.
Right? It seems like you're always, it's almost like I was thinking, I wonder if Jessica's like, she's like that kind of person. It almost seems like she was just born to be, do you know what I mean?
Thank you for saying that. Thank you.
That seems like a compliment, but do you know what I mean? It just seems so natural. Like you were just right away, like pose, smile, pose. Was that like that when you were growing up?
I got into, so I kind of just started the industry at 23.
Okay.
So I did have a little bit of a late start.
Okay.
I'm 30 now.
Oh, no way.
Well, 29, 30 in April.
Okay, cool. That's cool. That's great. I thought you were like, maybe like, I was like, I hope she's not super young. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I should have checked. I should have checked. Okay, cool.
You're my favorite.
Awesome. Okay, so let me just say right now, if people want to see your photography, where should they go to?
So I actually have a photography Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
It's photo.jck.
Okay, cool. And what I'll do is I'll edit it for you. I'll pop it in throughout the video.
You're amazing. Thank you so much.
Check it out, guys, because actually I do like some of your photography, because how I noticed you was we were friends on Facebook and I kept seeing a lot of really cool, funny, like meme kind of posts, right? And I was like, oh, that's so funny. And then it was you, and I'm like, oh, that's funny. This girl's super funny. And then it would pop later, then a week later, it'd be like a really funny comment or a great picture. And I'm like, oh my God, this girl constantly. And it was like your stuff though. Like it was like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's super cool. What were you like growing up? We'll start from the beginning. Were you shy? Were you a leader?
I was a really awkward kid.
No way.
Yeah, I was kind of more like into myself, and like I've always enjoyed nature, and I've always enjoyed writing, and I guess doing art stuff. I wasn't very good at it when I was a kid, but
right. Yeah, I used to always like spend time in my room listening to the Beatles, drawing pictures, writing stories.
Love it.
Yeah,
love it.
That's interesting. A lot of people start off like that end up doing cool things. Okay, so you spend a lot of time alone, just thinking. Okay,
yeah.
Cool. And so when did you start to find yourself, or start to, like, you seem very confident now. Would you say that you're confident?
Thank you so much. I try to be confident. And finding myself, I feel like just kind of happened within the last couple of years.
Right. Yeah.
So I feel like all of my 20s, I was a little, I'm not going to say like lost, but I just didn't really know. I wasn't really sure of myself. And just the last couple of years, I kind of started feeling more confident.
That's so interesting, right? Because a lot of times they tell us like at 18, 19, you're going to know who you are now.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah. Okay, so the last couple of years you started to feel more, okay. How do you think that process went for you? Because it seems like some people might never find themselves.
Yeah, I feel like you just have to keep trying different things. So I I feel like reading a lot helps. It's
Okay.
a weird thing that I feel like just kind of helps people ground themselves a bit more.
Right.
And just exploring different things and finding what works for you.
Right. Yeah. That's awesome, Jessica. That's really good advice. I feel like you would be great for like younger girls. Like
Oh my gosh, thank you so. That's such an awesome compliment. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. That's cool. If I had a daughter, I'd be like, you need to talk to Jessica. She knows
Oh
what's
my
going on.
gosh,
But no,
that is such a compliment. Thank you. You just gave me goosebumps, actually.
that's
Thank you so
great.
much.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay. Um, okay, so how important has networking been for you? So that's, and I hate that word networking, but trying lots of things and finding yourself. You must have been bouncing off lots of different ideas and people's. How's that been?
For me, I feel like networking is I feel like it's one of the most important aspects of business and just
Yeah,
getting your name out there,
yeah.
talking to people, bouncing ideas off of people,
Right,
and
right, right.
just working with people is so important
Okay, that's
to me.
cool. And you seem to have like 1 million friends or millions and millions of friends constantly commenting and saying things. Um, how do okay, so I'm gonna go really basic on you, okay? So
Okay.
how do you make friends? If someone's like, how do you do that? What's the Jessica way of making new friends?
For me, I feel like I try to ask people a lot of questions about themselves. Like I really like getting to know people.
Right.
So it's really interesting, like the things that you learn from everyone. I
Yeah.
feel like I haven't met one person that hasn't like taught me something.
Right, right, right. Okay, cool. Yeah. I also have like tons of friends. And when I once started doing the podcast, I was like, I have so many friends. Just because whenever I go into a room, I'm like, who are you? I like this. I just want to, do you know what I mean? Okay,
So
cool.
cool.
So cool. Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, cool. Same vibe. Um, this is a good question. So this kind of, I love this kind of topic. So some people, would you say that success is all luck, all hard work, or a mix of both?
So that's like a really awesome question.
Yeah.
Just for me, like I feel like it's different for different people.
Right.
Um, some people get really lucky, like they just get their first break
Yeah.
immediately because
Right.
maybe they have like a cool look or maybe they're at the right place in the right time.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, I feel like it's been all just kind of working towards things.
Right, right. Do you think
A
there's
little
a
bit of luck too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you're like "So zero luck. Next question. No, because some people I meet, they'll be like, there's no such thing as luck. You make your chances, right? Which is cool. And I get that. I kind of get that vibe for sure. And then there's
Yeah,
other people that are like, it's all like spiritual, it's all luck. Like you bring it in, don't even work, stop working, like just bring in the good vibes, right?
yeah,
Which is kind of cool too, but I think it's like it definitely okay, a cool mix. Um,
yeah.
okay, what is success for you? Like if what would how do you look at a person that's successful? What is your definition of success?
I feel like for me,
Yeah,
success would just be like being completely confident in like your crafts, living comfortably, being
yeah,
able to travel whenever you want,
yeah.
and just life experiences. Like what I feel like when I meet a successful person, they're just really happy and confident and at
Right.
peace.
Right. At peace, that's such a great one too, right? They're super at peace all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. They're not really reaching for anything. There's no like intentions. They're just like very grounded in the moment. Okay, that's so
absolutely.
cool. Are you in Toronto right now?
I am.
Okay, that's awesome. So I lived in Toronto for a couple of years. Toronto's such a cool city. It's such a good vibe.
It is. It's amazing. If you don't mind me asking, what brought you to Korea? Like, that's so cool that you're in Korea right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So actually what happened was I really loved your first answer about like just try lots of things. So
Yeah.
I went to McMaster University for labor law. And I was like, yes, this is good. And then when I graduated, you can go to Korea and teach English. So I just jumped on a plane immediately and came here and then just bounced around Asia. I've been in Taiwan, Korea, Japan. Yeah. And
That
now,
is awesome.
yeah, and now I'm back in Korea now. Yeah. So just trying different places and whatever works for you. Yeah.
What's your favorite place in Asia that you've been?
I'm gonna get in so much trouble. I love, I love Japan. So I think eventually I'm gonna go there. Japan's really cool.
It looks insanely awesome.
Yeah. It's such a nice mix. Like the country really loves art. They're
Ooh.
so artsy people. They're like anyway, it's the architecture. It's really, really cool. Like if you're a photographer, oh, this is what I want to tell you as well. When I would go there, I had a girlfriend when I was living in Japan. And so I lived with her. And I would walk around during the day. Like I didn't have a job for a long time. And I'd walk around and I'd just do street fashion, take photos. And
Oh,
yeah, because their street fashion's so good there, right?
right.
Yeah, so I just go up to people and I learn like, "Anata wa totemo kakui desu. Sashin daijoubu? You're so cool. Can I take a picture?" Like that's
That is
all I could
so,
say.
that is so cool.
Yeah,
That
I
is
got
so
tons of
cool.
cool pictures of them. Yeah, so that was really cool. Okay, um, this is awesome. What kind of art inspires you the most? Is like music really inspires you, movies, or everything?
For me, I feel like it's a mix of everything. I find inspiration in different things all the time, so it's hard to kind of narrow it
Right.
down.
Okay, how
I
about
love music,
recently?
love music. Most recently, I have been inspired. It's gonna sound really weird, but like different emo different human emotions lately
Okay.
have been like inspire me. Like I've lately I've taken a couple photos of like people crying. It sounds really weird, but I just
Oh,
think
not at
there's so
all.
much beauty in
Not at all.
it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, whenever I cry, I always go look in the mirror to see what it looks like.
That is so awesome.
And I'm like, I should be in a movie. I can do this well. And then I go back to the moment. I'm like, okay, be sad about. Okay, cool. Yeah. No,
That's
crying
such
is
an
awesome.
artist thing to do.
No, well, I think it's like for artists, we're just like, just crazy. So
Completely.
yeah.
Completely.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely get those cry pictures because actually, the thing is though, is like they resonate with people for some reason. Like
Yeah.
everybody loves cry pictures.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
I just think you're beautiful, you know?
Yeah.
Like
You know who's great at crying is Natalie Portman in her
she's
movies.
beautiful.
Yeah,
She's a
she's
beautiful
beautiful.
crier, to be
Yeah, I
honest.
know. Yeah. And when she cries, you're like, Natalie's crying, and you just stop and let her cry. That's awesome. Okay,
So
cool.
true.
It's so true. Is there any music that inspires you these days?
All yeah, I find inspiration in a lot of music, and I even feel like sometimes listening to certain songs can I'm a little bit into like manifestation.
Yeah, me too.
So even listening to certain songs I feel like is a form of manifestation.
Totally. Well, it really helps your mind like envision things that you want to do. It almost brings that about, right?
Definitely.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
I feel like music is like lighting incense sometimes,
Definitely.
right? Okay, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I don't have any bands in my mind or songs these days that I really like. I'm getting more, I think, instrumental, just so I can just think and I just have music in the background.
Do you listen to any lo-fi hip hop?
Yeah, I love lo-fi hip hop, but like
That's
I
kind of what
don't
I
like
have in the back,
the background.
right?
Yeah, like no, like majestic casual lo-fi hip hop or something like that.
It's
Oh,
just so chill.
so I know exactly. Okay, cool. Definitely we're on the same page. Is there any celebrities that inspire you these days? Any celebrities that you're like, you just watch them or listen to them talk or watch interviews of them?
So I actually I have a soul coach. Her name is Cerise Fairfax,
Yeah,
and she's done a lot of acting, and now she has a vlog on YouTube.
yeah.
So I feel like she really inspires me because she works so hard, and she got me into like the film industry.
Oh,
She
cool.
she actually told me to start doing photography, and yeah, she was just like a huge inspiration to me, and it's so cool because I actually know her in person.
That's awesome. Oh, that's cool. So she's had like a huge influence, like really good positive influence.
Yeah, best mentor I could ask for
Oh,
sure.
cool. Yeah, I have some mentors over here, some buddies, and it's just crazy because it's like so many good things in my life have come from their advice, and they're like, right? You're like, whoa, this person's helped me a lot. Okay, that's awesome. And then do you talk
Supportive
to her like,
people.
you guys talk every day, or do you talk to her like weekly and have like a really set up time or?
I usually speak to her once a week, sometimes more if I have like a work dilemma and I need
Right,
help.
right, totally, totally. I had one guy that was kind of like a coach in Toronto. And it would be the same thing once a week, or sometimes I'm like, we have to talk.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so important to have someone you can kind of go to for advice.
I know. And Toronto's an intense city. It's good, but it's always intense when I'm there.
It is.
Korea is a lot more chill. Okay. So that was the one person you look up to. But I mean, like, are there any like artists or like celebrities like Elon Musk, Kanye West, or like, I guess the like female celebrities that you think are cool?
So actually there's another actor that I really love, Toni Collette.
Okay. I don't know.
She's, oh my God, she's so fabulous. She was in the movie Hereditary.
Okay.
And her acting is just so crazy.
Awesome.
Like, I really hope she wins some awesome awards.
Okay.
I think she's so underrated.
Really? Okay, I'm gonna check her out. And then do you like her? Do you find like when you look at certain actresses and models, do you find that sometimes you like their look? Not like in a not like in a shallow way, but you just like their look, and then you tend to also like their acting. Do you ever find that?
Yeah, that's totally Toni Collette. Like, I just think she's gorgeous.
Right.
And like actors like
Yeah. No, because there's lots of people that like, like I look at and I'm just like, I really love this person's like appearance. I think they're interesting or unique looking, right? It can be a guy or a girl, like anyone I think is just different looking. And obviously, especially for like actors and actresses. And then there's also some people, for some reason, the camera, they look really good in pictures, but then like completely different. Like some people's faces are made for cameras and stuff. It's so interesting.
yeah, it is such an interesting thing. I feel it, and also I feel like the camera adds 10 pounds. Like, that saying is so true. Like,
Right.
sometimes I see videos of myself and I'm like, oh my gosh, gotta drop 10 pounds.
No, you don't have to worry about that stuff. Not on my podcast. You don't have to worry about that. I know, like, do you know who I used to always love? Jude Law. And
Jude is such a cool dude.
I know. And I would just
I
like,
look like him, actually.
thanks, stop it. Right. No, but
Did
that's
anyone see that?
because there probably is something that I also like to look at him, because there must be something there, right?
You're like, you look like me.
Right. Who knows why, right? Why we're drawn to certain, but even in like that one movie, The Talented Mr. Ripley, he was like in Italy. He's like a young guy in Italy anyway. And just the style, right? I just could watch it again and again and again. And I'm just looking at his face. I'm like, yes, everything's yes. The outfit. Yeah, that's so cool. That's interesting. Do you think, what's your favorite movie genre? Do you have a favorite movie genre?
I feel like I love them all.
Yeah.
So it's hard to choose. I've never really been into unrealistic action movies,
Okay.
but I mean, there's still like a beauty in those too.
Right. I was saying to a friend yesterday that there was like, I had like an ex-girlfriend and we were talking, I guess we never talked about movies, what kind of relationship, but as we were like into the relationship, like months in, I was like, oh, what kind of movies do you like? And then she was like, she liked those, what is those movies? Drift, Tokyo Drift,
Oh.
I was like, what? I was like, you like those movies? She's like, yeah. I was like, oh no. Right, but that's cool if you like those movies. Still, please subscribe to my channel and watch my stuff.
Yeah.
What do I know? I don't know what I'm talking about either. It's like, I really love like science fiction, like sci-fi movies, right?
Yeah, sci-fi is really cool.
Sci-fi is really cool, right? And it feels like we're going in more of a sci-fi direction, even on our planet, right? Like,
yeah. Oh my
really
God.
exciting.
You're so right. Did you ever watch Black Mirror?
No, I don't like that. It sounds scary.
It's such a cool show.
Is it cool? What is your
I feel like we're in an episode of Black Mirror.
Right. Yeah. I know. You know what I was saying to a friend? I was always super sad because I can't believe you're 30. Because in my mind, I was preparing myself. I'm like, think young. This is a young person.
I love it. Thank you.
When I was younger, I was always sad when I was in history class because I was like, all the cool things happened. I missed out on all the cool experiences. I wish I would have was a part of this or that. But it feels like we're going into a really interesting time in history.
Yeah, it's definitely weird.
It's weird. Yeah.
So
For-
weird.
yeah. Um, is there, so the current project you're working on again is your Instagram. We can check out your photography. And so when you meet
Yes.
people, do you tell people to subscribe to your Instagram, your photography Instagram, or do you give them your like modeling Instagram with all your pictures?
I usually give them both. I'm
Yeah.
also I'm co-producing a movie to bring awareness to the human trafficking industry.
Right. Yeah, it's insane.
So the creator's name is Mark Johnson, and we just finished filming it, thankfully, and now we're in post-production. So that's called All the Little Angels. I have an Instagram for that as well.
Cool. Okay, that's awesome. I'm definitely gonna put a post for that as well for people
Thank
to
you
check
so
out.
much.
And please
Thank you.
message me once you finish it too. I'll give it a shout out. For
Thank
sure.
you so much.
Yeah,
If you
for
want
sure.
anything shouted out as well, just
Okay,
send it to me
cool.
and say, like, can you promo this?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. Well, we're gonna be buddies in the future. Okay, when you come to Japan, let me know.
I
Let me
definitely will
Yeah. Okay.
as
Okay,
soon as
that's
we
awesome.
travel.
Yeah. Oh, so that was one of my questions. Like, where do you want to travel when all of this ends?
Oh my gosh, there's so many places that I want to
Yeah,
go,
let's
like,
talk about all
especially
the places.
like New York, I
Yeah.
think is one of my favorite cities. So I can't wait to get back to New York. I want to hit somewhere with an ocean, like Mexico or Cuba.
Yeah.
And definitely I so want to visit Japan. I've always wanted to visit Japan.
Yeah.
And I have a good friend that's half Korean.
Oh,
So
sick.
she's itching to go back to Korea, and I've always wanted to see. I think it's so cool that you live there.
Yeah, it's dope. It's pretty good. Actually, it's really funny because I live in Gangnam. Like I live downtown Gangnam.
Oh my
And like I
gosh.
told my owner, I was like, you have to get me an apartment in Gangnam. They're like, why? Why does it have to be there? I'm like, it has to be there. But now I'm here and then Corona started. So it
Oh,
doesn't matter where you are. You can't really go out as much. But
it'll
like
be interesting when you can go back out.
yeah, but and you know what? I'm just not even about the area. It's just not very artsy. There's more artsy areas in Seoul. And so like I actually just yesterday had to talk with my boss and I was like, you have to move me out of Gangnam.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're like, what? Where do you want to go? I'm like, it doesn't matter. Move me out or you're gonna lose me. Like, I'm like making big demands now. Um, but yeah, okay, cool. I really want to go to Milan, like Italy or Florence. I just want to go there and smoke cigarettes. And I don't even smoke. I just want to smoke cigarettes and drink cappuccino.
It
And
looks like a dream. The food is
yeah,
probably crazy
I
awesome. The
know.
food where you are is probably so good too.
It's healthy for sure. Yeah, it's okay. You know what though? I know I'm just always eating Western food these days.
Oh,
I'm
really?
yeah, I'm just like, give me a sandwich and yeah, just a hamburger.
Uh,
Um, yeah, I want to go to Italy and I just want to get into a relationship, like one of those relationships where we fight on the street. This is what I'm really hoping to happen one day. I really want
Such
it.
an artist.
I know. But we'll love each other. We'll be super in love, but we're gonna fight like all the time. I'm really looking forward to it.
Love it.
Yeah, just like I'm just gonna go like get match, go to Gatano. It means nothing, but I'm gonna yell these words out. She'll know what I mean. Um, what is your favorite? You mentioned you really love New York. Do you have like a favorite place that you've been to?
I actually really I really loved Stratton. I think it's called Stratton Island I
Okay,
don't know if I'm saying it right.
I don't know
I just
either.
thought it was so cool that you have to take a boat to get to the other side. And then my friend that lives in New York, so he took me there because he
Yeah,
actually lives like right on the island, and he has to take the boat to go to work like every morning.
it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just like in awe. I was like,
Yeah,
wow, like, and he's just like, oh, this is like nothing to me. Like I take this every morning, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is like beautiful.
that's awesome.
It was so cool.
That's so cool. Can you see yourself ever living in New York?
Definitely, I would
Yeah.
move there. If opportunity came, I would definitely move to New York. I feel like they're so advanced when it comes to the arts as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my really good friends in Toronto, he always says that Toronto is a teenager and New York is an adult. And like
Yeah.
there,
Wow, that's so cool.
yeah. Okay, that's awesome. You know what? When I went to New York, I shouldn't even admit this, but I've been a couple times, and every time I go, I don't know what, I'm just always like, oh, this city's too big for me. And that's how I always feel about it. It's weird, but I'm always like, I want to go. I want to go back to Toronto.
Oh
Isn't
my
that?
gosh. It's
Yeah,
overwhelming for
it's
sure.
overwhelming. But you know, like
Yeah.
I've always thought like, oh, I'm a big city person. People don't get me. But then when I go there, I go, okay, that's quite enough. That's quite enough. It is overwhelming. It does take a certain kind of person to be there. But that's all. I'm really happy that you want to go there. I hope that happens in the next 5 years, maybe. Even for
Oh,
like a summer or something like that, right?
it would be so awesome to go for a summer. I just think
Yeah.
it's such a cool city. I think it helps if you have somebody there like showing you around because it is so big
Yeah, that's right. Totally.
and
Yeah,
it's overwhelming for sure.
yeah. When I went with a bunch of buddies in university, I was like, I just took charge for some reason, and they all listened to me. They're like, Sean knows. And I was like, it's this way. And we wandered into like a very sketchy area, and then it was really bad. Things went not well for us. I won't even say
Oh
what happened.
no.
Yeah, anyway, we were okay. We got out. But and then after that, they're like, you're not leading us anymore. So it's like New York is too big. Like you have to be very, very sharp and know what you're doing. Whereas in Toronto, I've never really had a bad experience ever, years and years and years. Okay. Um, I went to Spain once. I was in Spain for a little while. And when I was in Spain, this woman came up to me and she was like, oh, Milan, Milan. So she thought that I was from Milan. She thought I was Italian, right? I had a big
Oh,
beard at the time. I had a big beard, a beanie, a bunch of stuff on, right? And I was so happy. I was like, she thinks I'm from Milan. I knew it. I'm European. So the next
uh,
day, I was walking around the city, right? With like a cigarette. I thought it was so cool sitting in the cappuccino. I was like, I'm so Italian. And there's this guy I saw at like the end of the street. He was walking down the street and he saw me. He was wearing a suit, very tall guy. And he came directly up to me and then he was like, excuse me, where is the train station? Perfect English. And I was like, oh, it's over there. And I was like, why did you come up to me? He's like, oh, I could tell you're American just by looking at you. I was so sad. I was like,
uh,
no, I'm American. Okay. Where do you think you would fit in the best with your personality? What country do you think would fit you? What about like Europe? If you were going to go in any city in Europe or country, where do you think it would be the best for you?
any city or country in Europe?
Or country, I guess.
Oh shoot, yeah, right. Gosh, I don't really know.
I
I
don't know
don't
either. I
really
just
know.
have to make a guess.
I feel like I don't know.
Would you be French? Would you do well in France or in Italy, do you think? You're
I'm
so
so
continental.
sorry.
You're continental. You could go anywhere. That's why you can't decide.
You're awesome.
Yeah, you're
You're
like,
so
I could
nice.
do well anywhere, Sean.
You're so awesome. Yeah, I don't know. Like I just feel like I'd be happy. I would opportunity came, I would probably travel anywhere in the world.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm the exact same way. I know. Anyway, I'm just like, are there cafes there? They're like, yes. I'm like, okay, I'm packing my bags.
Honestly, like I feel like
Right.
I want to see it all.
Yeah, totally. No, I know, me too. I just want to travel.
Yeah.
Oh, last weekend, I just took a train to just another city just because I needed a trip so bad. And yeah,
What,
it was
so
really,
how long was the train ride and what city did you go
it
to?
was 3.5 hours. It was a city, it's a beach city. It's the second biggest city in Korea. It's
Ooh,
awesome. I think it's awesome. But yeah, I want to move there one day. We'll see. But it was really
that's
cool. Yeah,
really
it was
cool.
nice. Yeah, it was really cool. It's just nice to move around. Um, okay, so what do you think about would you say that you're an introvert or an extrovert? Are you just a mix of both?
A little bit of both, I think.
Yeah,
I really enjoy like my alone time.
yeah,
But I can be extroverted at certain times.
yeah. What about, okay, so I tried acting before, okay? I thought I'm gonna be a great actor, okay? Because I'm outgoing and I'm funny. So I'm like, boom, I'm gonna be perfect. And then I did a music video, right? I made a song. We're doing music. I got a friend to film it. And then we're like, okay, I'm gonna walk into the kitchen and open the fridge. Okay. Now, and then they're like, go. And I went and I started walking like really, really weird. And I opened the fridge really weird. And then I was like, I can't act. It's
Ah,
so hard. What's your
yeah.
secret to doing it? How do you act?
I'd really recommend just for anybody who's having like those kind of nervous issues,
Hmm.
just taking some classes,
Yeah.
doing as many classes as you can. And the more you do it, like the more you practice, the more comfortable you'll get in front of the camera. I've heard that from a lot of like talented actors. when they first start, they were just so just uncomfortable. And yeah, the walking thing is so normal.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's really, maybe try again.
Yeah. What about, that's so sweet. What about when you were in high school, did you do like all the drama stuff? Were you in plays?
I did some theater when I was younger. Like that's kind of where I started.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was always into drama
Yeah.
in high school.
Okay. And then, so when you did start to do stuff like they filmed it, were you good right away, or do you think you got better?
I think I've definitely improved. When I first started, I definitely a beginner, you know, like
Yeah.
you could tell.
Yeah. Okay. That's funny. I saw you wrote like a post about haters. Someone said something and I was like, oh, I really like this. I'm always like, oh yeah, go Jessica. I'm
You're
like
awesome.
a fan. I don't know why. There's always certain people you just rally around them for some reason, right? Um,
Uh-huh.
how do you deal with people? How do you deal with people that maybe just say negative comments or try to put you down? Because obviously you're trying to do stuff with your life, right?
Yeah.
How do you deal with naysayers?
So I feel like there's always gonna be people that will try to bring people down.
Yeah.
I guess my advice would be to use it as motivation, because like for me, it really actually helps me. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of grateful when people do
Right.
act rude and say
Yeah.
like mean things, because
Yeah.
then it just really makes me want to learn more and study more and get
Right.
better, you
Right,
know?
right, right. Yeah, 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 for sure. That's awesome. So you're like a superhero and you just take it and get even stronger. You take their hate. Okay, that's awesome, Jessica. Yeah, that's so good. That's really good to hear. I mean, some people like it's hard if you're an artist, right? Because that means that you're kind of sensitive because you kind of have to be open a little bit. But then when people are
Definitely.
negative, it can really kill your vibe, right?
Yeah, absolutely. People will always do it
Yeah,
to everyone. So you just
yeah.
have to like not take it personally and just think like,
Yeah.
oh, they're having a bad day.
Right. I had a couple people that would like just make some negative comments about the podcast, and my mind was like, as you get older, you start to realize stuff. So instead of like getting upset, I just said, "Do you want to be on my podcast?" And they're like, "Yeah." So I was like, "That's what it was." Like you're just trying to be like, you could have just said, "Hey, that's awesome. I love that you're doing that," right? And I would have been
Yeah,
cool. But for whatever reason, they thought they'd take a negative angle. I don't know why, but that's cool. I just ignored it. And then what they really wanted was just some attention. Do you know what I mean? It comes from such weird places sometimes when people are rude.
yeah, it is. It's such an odd thing. I'll never understand it.
Either.
I never understand why people would want to like discourage other
I
people.
know.
That's
Have
like
you?
really cool though, that you're like, you obviously want to be on my podcast. Like, what's up?
Exactly. Exactly.
So cool.
Um, yeah, because why would you ever be rude? Have you ever done that? Do you feel like you've ever done that to someone, like discouraged someone or said something rude for the sake of saying something rude?
Hopefully not. Like, I hope I've
Yeah.
never accidentally like discouraged somebody. I would
Okay.
never do that. That's why I don't understand. I would never want to like discourage somebody, especially when it comes to art. It's like you have to put yourself out there. Like you risk like embarrassing yourself. Like you risk, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like so
totally.
cool.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm the exact same way. I just don't have it in me ever to discourage. I've never wanted to discourage anyone. It's hard enough just to do stuff myself. So I just want to encourage everybody to let's all keep going up to the next level, right? So it's such a weird thing to me, but I'm starting to understand it a little bit more. Okay, that's really cool. Um, what would be for you? We're both really fast talkers.
Yeah, I know.
So some people are gonna love watching this and are like, yeah. Other people are gonna be like, I can't. This is too much. We're just like, boo, 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 boo. What would be like a dream role for you? Like, what
And
would be
I
the
would
dream type of role? Like, what kind of character would you love to play, or what kind of like for me, I'd love to play a villain. I'd love to be a villain in a movie. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to do that. How about what would be for you a great role?
So Charlize Theron was in this movie called Monster, and
Yeah.
I've kind of been obsessed with that movie. Well, not obsessed, but
Right.
I love that movie so much. I watch it like every year.
Okay.
And she had to, I just thought it was like the coolest thing ever. She had to gain 30 pounds. She just was like rough, like she just did not look like herself. She totally transformed herself. If I had an opportunity to do that, where I'd have to like, it sounds crazy, but just completely like transforming myself for a role would be a really wicked opportunity. If I had like the funds to kind of get back into shape quickly,
Right.
you know,
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
it'd be
get
really
like a
cool.
personal trainer, like the next. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's
Also a villain.
yeah, totally.
Like everybody loves a good villain, I feel like.
Yeah, I know. Girl villains are awesome too.
Yeah, so
Um,
cool.
cool. Yeah, if you could get like if you could do like a Disney film where you're like a villain, that would be awesome. That would be
So
perfect.
cool.
Yeah, that'd be really.
Definitely.
Yeah, I hope that comes up for you. I'm gonna keep my
Thank
ears
you.
open for that one. Um,
Oh, thanks.
if I'm ever in like a dinner party and someone's talking about it, I'm like, I know someone for that. I'm gonna make a phone call.
You're awesome.
What about so okay, so I want to go back to Charlize for a second. She's such a cool, so she's so cool, just a cool person.
Amazing.
She's like a hot
So
babe,
amazing.
really intelligent, super confident. And whenever she speaks in like Afrikaans or I don't know how to say it, it's so cool.
Yeah, she is just like an all-around badass chick. I
Yeah.
admire her so much.
Okay, cool. And then so she was, do you know she was dating Sean Penn for a while?
Yeah,
Yeah, that must have been a cool relationship.
I know.
I
He's a
love,
cool looking dude too.
yeah, he's different too. So
Great actor.
yeah, I love his acting. Do you like Sean Penn's acting?
I do.
Yeah, he's awesome. I sometimes I just watch clips of Sean Penn in interviews at like 4 in the morning. I'm like, you, Sean, you need to sleep. But I'm like, oh, I need to learn more about Sean Penn. I'm like, why am I doing this? This isn't helping me. Okay, so cool. Okay, um, so there's inspiration. We did music, your photography. You're doing a lot of portraits. Where would you like to see, like, where would you like to see your photography go to?
So I'd really like some more publications.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start submitting my work. I haven't really done that too much yet.
Okay.
So I've just been trying to look into like getting more publications would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay, cool. And then how about overall goals for 2021? Do you have any like goal? I hate the word goals or like any like visions or things that you want to manifest or work towards?
Um, so right now in Toronto, we're not allowed to shoot.
Yeah.
Um, I think the lockdown for here is over on the 4th, and then we'll be allowed to shoot again. They shut it down for this month.
Okay.
Uh, I feel like as long as I'm shooting people, I have some really good shoots coming up. Like I want to do some crazy artistic stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess just getting published would be like getting more publications, and then another goal would be just getting my work more out there
Yeah.
and learning. I want to learn videography next.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that post. That's awesome. Yeah, for sure. Do that for sure. Okay.
That would be
There's so many
cool.
master classes online now. There's so much info out there. Okay.
Yeah,
Dope.
definitely.
Dope. And then putting your stuff out there, like what do you think is the best way? Like, do you want to put more of a focus on like getting more of a social online presence, or is
That
that
would be really great.
yeah,
Just because I feel like it does like when you do have a little bit of a following or a lot of a following,
yeah,
it
yeah,
really helps
yeah.
business wise.
Okay. And then what about like which platforms do you see yourself focusing on more? Like obviously Instagram, anything else?
So Instagram's been really helpful for me. I eventually want to make a website when I do learn more about photography. I want to make a photography website.
Yeah.
And I don't use Twitter, but I've heard that Twitter is really amazing to kind
Yeah.
of get yourself out there.
I keep hearing that too, but I keep resisting it.
Same.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I'll like I do have a Twitter account, and sometimes I'm like, I don't get this. I write a sentence and then I can comment on other people's sentences. I'm like, I don't want to do this. But it's
Yeah,
such a
I didn't understand
me neither.
it.
It sounds so like I'm embarrassed though because so many people have been using it for like over a decade now or something. Yeah. But
It just
anyway,
doesn't make sense.
yeah. What about, would you ever do, so like you're really easy to talk to, right? Would you ever do like YouTube? Do you do YouTube stuff or no? How do you feel about that?
I feel like it takes a special type of talent to do YouTube videos.
Yeah,
Like the YouTube audience is so harsh.
right.
I did a live to air YouTube interview
That's-
once, and that was pretty cool.
yeah,
But I also think YouTube is really amazing for
yeah.
just getting yourself out there, networking.
Right. Yeah, because your personality is so, I feel like it's just so like, I'm very relaxed talking to you. I just feel relaxed. I'm like, oh, this
Oh,
girl's
that's
gonna
so
be,
good.
yeah. I'm like, this person's gonna be themselves. I can tell right away. She's not trying to do anything, right? So then you go, okay, well then I'm just gonna be myself then, right?
Aw.
And then so I think that's, yeah, that's really hard. That's harder to find than you think. So yeah. I hope you definitely do more YouTube or do more podcasts with other people. Because
Definitely.
yeah, because I think whenever someone watches someone, just like the Jude Law thing or someone else, when you feel connected to someone, you're like, oh, I want to talk to this person more. I want to give them opportunities, or I want to do something like that, right? Like
Absolutely.
I put up a couple podcasts and people would like respond, and I'm like, that was like 2 hours into the interview. So someone
Oh,
watched,
wow.
yeah, I was like, so someone watched like a 2 hour and a half interview, and they're like, I really like what you said here. And I was like, that was so, you must have watched so much of, right?
That's
But
so cool.
yeah,
That's
I
so
know,
cool.
so cool. I know, totally. And then I told my mom, because my mom's always very artsy, and I'm like, Mom, why don't you just do a YouTube page? Just be like, oh, this is great. This is really good. We can connect it to yours. Mom, you're really cool. Why don't you do a YouTube thing? My mom always says, I'm really scared about what people are going to write in the comments. I don't want anything mean about me.
Aw.
Right?
Aw.
Right. And that's a big thing, but I tend to just not even going to look at it.
Good for you.
Yeah. But actually I'd even welcome it just because I'm like, great, I need more comments and content. So you can hate on me. That's perfect. I need that. Kind of like
It's
that's
so true. I
right.
always see people like commenting hate on YouTube videos, and I'm like, you're like really helping this person's
Yeah.
algorithm, right?
Exactly. And if you're like Jessica, the hate just makes you stronger.
It fuels you.
Right. Don't hate on Jessica. She'll get stronger. She'll just get stronger.
Oh my gosh, you're like the best host though, so I can see I can definitely see your podcast taking off because you make the interviews really interesting.
Cool. So what we'll do is, because you're one of the earlier people on my podcast, once I can get it bigger, a lot more subscribers, come back on again so you can benefit more.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, and thank you so much for having me. This was really fun, actually. It flew by.
Yeah, I know. I was just gonna say we just about made it to that point. But just before I go, you took a beautiful picture of your mom recently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and she looks
did.
super gorgeous and super cool. Um, how's that relationship? Are you guys both kind of artsy or like?
So she is more corporate.
Okay.
She's not into the arts. I always thought that she should get into the arts because I know it's my mom and I'm biased, but I think she's stunning.
Right.
And she's such a cool woman. She's such a powerful badass. I think she
Yeah.
could honestly, and she actually takes really good photos.
Right.
So I wish she would get into it. But yeah, she's more corporate, but she's like the coolest person ever.
Okay, that's awesome. And kind of has a Charlize Theron vibe.
Yeah, she's
Right?
definitely a talented woman.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Jessica, thank you so much. And then one more time, your Instagram is, if they want to see your photography.
So my photography Instagram is photo.jck.
JCK. And then if people wanted to add you on Instagram, can they add you on Instagram as well? Do you have a big?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So my personal Instagram is Jessica period
Yeah.
Chin period
Okay. Yeah.
King, like chin
Whoa.
and then.
Whoa. We should have started with that. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm just gonna stop and we'll talk for a quick second though before you go. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys again soon. Bye.